Hey everyone, Meteorologist Sabrina Bates here. I think it's echoing, so give me a second. I think we're good now. I don't think it should be echoing or anything, so hopefully that fixed that. It should just be hearing me from one part of this computer, but we're talking about snow and cold. Obviously, we have the NFL on ABC, which is why we are not in our newscast right now, but that'll be starting here once the game is over in the next few minutes. We're, right at the end of the game here. Let me know if you have any questions regarding the weather. We're talking about snow, we're talking about cold, and I will show you what we're talking about here for next week because there are some big weather changes on the way. Let me know if you guys have any questions, like I said, and where you are watching from. I'm going to give it a second or two for people to hop on, check the comments here on my page as well. We have a few different things that we are going to be watching. I see a few more folks hopping on. Hello, hello. Wonderful. So it's not going to be the entire week that's going to be terrible. I want to point that out. There's a few different things that I'm mainly going to be watching. And this should really help break it down, I think, a bit more. So we are talking about snow chances 2 different times next week. After the snow, we are looking at big time cold air. And I think for the entire state of Oklahoma, more of us will be impacted by the cold rather than the snow, if that gives you an idea here. What we're watching is the first system that is going to be moving in Monday into Tuesday. Latest track with that is actually shifting a bit farther north. So with that actually means that snow shifts north over into Kansas and more into those central plains. That means our snow chances closer to I-40, they're looking pretty slim. I'm looking at maybe a few flurries there. Northern Oklahoma, you could see a light dust in the snow. I'm looking at maybe up to around 2 inches. Really far northern Oklahoma, northwestern Oklahoma. More of that's going to be over into the Panhandle and then over into Kansas. But what I'm also looking at is really better snow chances next Friday. So that is going to be Friday the 12th. I think Monday, Tuesday, 8th, 9th, really not many of us are going to be seeing much snow, a ton of cold weather. It gets a little chilly by Tuesday, but highs are still in the 30s, right? So sort of typical for us. But we have those better snow chances Friday because we have a big time Arctic front moving in. And I'm not someone who really likes to push, really cold air or anything. But I know some of you guys know, I grew up in the Chicagoland area. So when I'm talking about cold, I am talking about cold air. We're looking at cold that moves in Friday. And I have it continuing at least through next weekend into the beginning of that following week. But our model data, the American model, is actually showing this cold air lasting about a week and a half. So that is something that we still need more consistency to guarantee. But we are going to be watching for this cold air. Well, where is that cold air? It is all up in the north. You guys have heard of the polar vortex. Essentially, when it's really strong, it stays up in the poles region, right? Northern, near the Arctic, right? Once it actually starts to weaken, we get parts of it breaking off, and that's when it dives farther towards the south. Well, when it dives towards the south, really depends on how far south it goes. Stronger cold fronts we get, the better chance of getting that colder air to pull down. Another thing is, if our friends north of us in Kansas, Nebraska, Dakotas get a lot of snow, that cold air is more likely to pull down towards us as well. So there are so many factors that go into that cold air and how long it lasts for us. Not just here in Oklahoma. There's a lot of factors that go between us here and then up over into Canada and the Arctic. Tomorrow, though, let's enjoy the nice weather while we can. We are going to be in the 50s. Not too shabby, I may say. Monday will be in the 50s, but we get rain moving in. So really what you could expect here for what we are looking at for the first system that I'm watching, Monday into Tuesday. Timing, early Monday is mainly going to be rain on Monday, and early Tuesday we start to see that snow. Impact, snow likely, but that is mainly going to be far northern Oklahoma. I think we could see a few slick spots here or there for the most part, it is going to be very confined to areas that get more of that heavier snowfall. It's been cold up towards northern Oklahoma, so you get a better chance of getting those slick spots sticking, especially since they did get some snow just the other day. Totals, highest totals, far northern Oklahoma, farther south that you go, you're looking at more of a trace. When I'm looking at snow here, This is what I'm talking about. This has not changed much from this morning from meteorologist Taylor Cox. Again, this entire track is actually shifting farther towards the north. So you are looking at most snow. This is going to be Monday through Tuesday. Far northern Oklahoma, far northwestern Oklahoma. May see a few flurries and a trace down towards I-40. But once again, Monday into Tuesday, much farther towards the north. And this is what we're going to be watching here with this predictor. We're looking at our Monday. Start to see that rain move in. Now, Monday morning commute, I will say, I do think it's going to be pretty rainy. Heavy rain is going to be your biggest thing. You may hear some rumbles of thunder, some brief gusty winds on Monday morning. That's sort of just the environment that we'll have. I'm not expecting severe storms, but just be mindful of that, at least on your Monday morning commute. Rainy, soggy. I know some kids are going back to school on Monday, so be prepared with the umbrella and everything. And then we go throughout the day on Monday, and this entire weather system continues to shift farther towards the east. But if y'all have been in Oklahoma long enough, you know that a lot of times in the winter we talk about the dry slot, dry air that moves in behind the system. We'll see that dry air that actually pushes in late Monday, and most of us actually start to see that dry air push in and just not give us a ton of snow. Most of that snow as well is going to stay up in Kansas just because of the track itself. So you're looking at late Monday snow in far northwestern Oklahoma and far northern Oklahoma. We get to the very early part of Tuesday, snow shifts east. We may see a few flurries to a trace in OKC. Most of that snow, I'd say Monday into Tuesday, stays north of I-40. I'm going to see if there's any questions. I know the NFL game has just ended, so we're going to be wrapping up here in about a minute or two to go over onto KOCO. But I just want to show everyone too what I'm talking about with this cold, because I know there are a lot of questions with the cold. We're in the 50s for 2 days. We drop down a bit with this first system into the 30s. We start to warm up, and then Friday morning is our first day where we are going to be below freezing. I've dropped these temperatures quite a bit for next weekend, where we are going to stay below freezing all of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, following Monday, the following Tuesday. It's looking more and more likely, at least for parts of the state, especially far northern Oklahoma, the coldest. I will say, now if you are in far southern Oklahoma, it will not get this cold. A big thing with this cold system is, once again, how far that cold is able to drop. I think it's going to be able to drop till I-40. I do think it will drop towards the OKC area, I-40 corridor. It's just going to be far southern Oklahoma. I don't know if we get that second push of really Arctic air for a second time. And I'm talking about 2 Arctic pushes, one on Friday, and then the following one on Sunday. So we get push of cold air, right behind it another push. A lot of times when we get 2 pushes of that really cold air, that cold air is able to stick with us for at least a few days. I'm talking about pipe dripping weather, highs in the 20s, in the single digits and teens in the mornings, dangerously cold weather. Northern Oklahoma, of course, much colder. Snow chances better for Friday, northern Oklahoma. You're looking at a few inches. I'm not looking at anything major, maybe far northern Oklahoma, far northwestern Oklahoma. If you're towards OKC, your snow chances are there Friday. They're better than Monday, Tuesday, but they're still not looking the best. Again, I think the cold air is going to be really the biggest impact for everyone. I know there's so many people asking about this area, that area, and everything like that. So what I want you to do is make sure that you are staying tuned to the forecast for tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, and really all of next week, because yes, we're talking about snow Monday, Tuesday, but I do think the bigger impact for everyone is going to be next Friday's snow and cold weather. So over the next week, make sure that you are staying tuned to the forecast here on Facebook, our Facebook pages, on TV, or even the KOCO app and everything, because there is just so much to talk about with this colder air and finally winter that has decided to arrive in Oklahoma. All right, guys, I have to hop off of here because we have the news coming up in just a few minutes. I see a question here. Does the tracks for these future storms look good? I mentioned the track for the Monday, Tuesday storm. That is pushing farther towards the north, so that means our snow chances decrease and we start to turn drier. We're going to have to watch that track for next Friday's snow as we get closer towards it. Of course, that big weather system, it's not, close enough yet, so we'll be watching for that and everything, along with that colder air up in the Arctic. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your Saturday. I'll see you all over on TV in just a few more minutes. You can catch me back here on Facebook tomorrow night. I love diving into the snow and cold air and everything, so I'll have a more detailed forecast tomorrow evening for you for what to expect. One Monday, Tuesday, and then end of the week as well. Have a great rest of your Saturday, like I said, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.